Hello everyone, what is up and welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be my review on the Black Macbook which released back in 2007. So I guess it's been quite a while since we last had a MacBook video. I think it's been about 3 weeks. Yep, it's good to be back to MacBook videos, and today we are going to be taking a look at the rare Black Macbook which released back in 2006. I managed to get my hands on one, and of course it's very normal to think that I actually paid a hefty amount for this MacBook, but that is not the case here. I paid around 200 Singapore dollars for this MacBook. Well, that's really a great deal, as I myself have seen other sellers selling this MacBook for close to $300 and $400. So me getting this for $200 is a fantastic deal. So as usual, story time. I was actually searching for a Black Macbook because I wanted it to be a part of my collection. Well, obviously I'll do a review on it, but I wasn't expecting to get one for so cheap. My budget for this MacBook was actually close to $500, and I was really searching for one. I was really hoping to get one cheap, and all the MacBooks that I saw were within the $400 to $500 range. But of course, no matter which MacBook I saw, none of it came with the box or the full set. Some didn't come with a charger, some came with only a charger. I really wanted one with a full set, but I couldn't get it, but that's sad. But it's fine, as long as you have the MacBook, it's good. So I was searching for one, and I really wasn't expecting to get one. Sub $300 was something that I never thought of. I wasn't expecting to get it at such a deal. I got it for $200. So that's pretty much the story time done. So without further ado, let's get started into the video. And so here's the MacBook in good condition and shape overall at the top. So this MacBook was introduced back in May 15 of 2007. It came with an Intel Core 2 Duo processor with a standard RAM of 1GB and a maximum RAM of 4GB. The 1GB of RAM was split into two 512MB modules, and there wasn't left any slot free. So this means that this MacBook has had two RAM slots. Now let's take a look at the ports. Here we can see a series of ports. This is the famous MagSafe port, and this is the Ethernet, followed by the Apple display connector, Firewire, 2 USB and 1 headphone jack. This is the security dock, which was famous for all the Macs from the early 90s up till the 2010s. Now if we turn over to the front, here we can see there are two sensors. One is just the sleep wake indicator, followed by the sensor for the Apple remote. If you've seen my other old MacBook videos, you would have known that all the older MacBooks used to have this sensor so that your Apple TV remote can connect to this MacBook. Now if you follow to the other side, this is nothing but just the optical drive. Now that we have taken a look at the ports and everything on this MacBook, it's time to open it up. Here we have opened the MacBook. We have our MagSafe charger, and we're just gonna snap it to the side of this MacBook. And there we can see the battery indicator turning green. The battery indicator turning green, that doesn't mean that the MacBook has battery. It just means that the battery is dead and it's just running off power. With the switch turned on, we're just gonna click power on, and we're gonna just wait for it to boot up. There we go, it's booting up, and here we go, the MacBook is turned on. So as usual, whichever MacBook we get, it's time to go see the technical specifications. Before we click on technical specifications, I want to say that the trackpad is really slow. If you can see here, the scrolling speed of my hand is really going fast, but the pointer isn't going really that fast. I think if you take a look closely at my fingers and at the MacBook screen, I think you can see the difference. So since we don't want that, let's go to settings, which is system preferences. We're gonna go to trackpad, and we're just gonna increase the scrolling speed by a little. This is how fast it is on M1 MacBook Pro. Well, it isn't really that smooth, but I guess it works. This MacBook is running on macOS X version 10.6, which is of course no Leopard, for 2.4GHz Intel Core 2 Duo, and of course 2GB of RAM. And the basic model of this MacBook came with 2GB of RAM, which can be upgraded to 4GB. When you took a look at the technical specifications, it said that the RAM that this MacBook shipped with was 1GB, but this is the upgraded version of 2GB of RAM. And now, whatever is it, we will start off with Geekbench. So I have downloaded the older version of Geekbench, Geekbench 3, as you can see here, just for this review. So I downloaded it, and with opening it, I'm going to leave it like that, and we're going to click run benchmark. So as this test is running, I want to say that I actually went on to source out the older versions of Geekbench just for this review. So now let's just wait for the Geekbench to be done, and there we go. Geekbench is done. Geekbench cannot connect to the Geekbench browser due to the following error. An SSL error has occurred and secure connection to the server cannot be made. So we're just going to click OK for that. So the result is out, but Geekbench can't connect to the server, which I'm probably guessing is Safari, because usually Safari is the one that opens it. So since we can't get a benchmark on that, That's set, so we're just gonna close out of that. And now let's open Safari. Really old version of Safari, and wait, okay, that's nice. Okay, the moment I open this, it straight sprung up to the Apple website. Click on Apple TV, let's see if it works. That's pretty responsive, I would say, but even though the website isn't really loading that much, but it's good. Okay, so now let's just wait for the Apple website to load up. Some of it are loading up, but the others are just not. So I think we're just not going to go into Apple TV, we're just going to go back and we want to see if the normal website loads. That's a lot of staggerings, and of course it's not showing the other tools. I'm just going to click on iPhone and we're just going to go wait for that to load. And while that is loading, I want to say that I've been using this MacBook for about a week now for like basic tasks like notes on the scripting app. I'm using the text edit a lot. Now there obviously isn't any script because I have erased everything. For this video, so I've erased everything. And some of you might be wondering why I'm using script edit instead of Microsoft Office or Word, and that is because there isn't any Microsoft Office or Word on this. There isn't anything just pre-installed, and I just don't want to install anything on my own which could just increase load on this MacBook. So I just don't want to increase any load on this MacBook. It's a really old computer and I really don't want to stress this much. Now I'm just gonna do some typing on this MacBook. After this, I'm just gonna start typing random words. And before, I've been using text edit instead of Microsoft Office because there hasn't been one. And of course, as you can see here, there isn't any issues. I've been typing random words, letters and numbers and symbols and everything, and the keyboard just isn't lagging. Let me just put this to full screen so you can see it better. And as you can see here, it's not lagging or anything. I just realized something. I've been typing randomly and I just typed way. I just typed way for you. That's just something fun. Let me just zoom in and show it to you. So there you can see, what's this, and yeah, there you can see way for you. So of course I've been using this keyboard for about a week for just all my scriptings of my videos, and something that I found really tiring, or something which I would say was reducing the speed that I was working in, and that is the keyboard. The keyboard is really old, and as a result of that, the keys are really hard to press on. And if you have realized, or if you heard in the video, the keyboards are really noisy. And the second is, you realize I have been pausing a lot when typing, and the main reason for that is because of course I'm talking in this video, but other than that, the other reason is that it's really hard to press these keys, and because I'm pressing that, I really need a break for my fingers. I can't just be typing on these keyboards for all day long without having to rest my fingers. That is just near impossible. Long typing activities just like my script edit is really impossible. So for now, we're just gonna close out of that. I'm gonna click don't save document, and as you can see here, the website is still not loaded. The iPhone 13's logo, the 13 Pro's logo have never shown up, and I give up. So now we're gonna go to YouTube. So that's gonna take some time to load up, so we're just gonna give it some time.
A few inches later.
So that was about 10 minutes in, and the YouTube decided not to open, and it's just stuck at this logo. So we're just not gonna waste any more time. We're just gonna close out of that, and we're gonna go use Google Chrome. I really have no idea how Chrome is gonna work, since that is gonna take up a lot more RAM than Safari does, and it's taking some time, so let's just wait. And that was really quick. I really wasn't expecting YouTube to load this fast on Chrome, since Chrome is gonna take a lot more RAM than expected. But of course, it's not really all that smooth. You can see that all the categories has been just moved forward into the advertisement here, and if we scroll down, I'm actually trying to scroll, but the video isn't scrolling. Okay, now it's finally scrolling, and as you can see, it's not really a smooth experience. The shots and everything are just mixed up, and yeah, some are shown on big screen, but at least this is definitely a lot better than YouTube not opening at all. So now we're just gonna go and we're gonna click on the search bar. Hopefully that works. And I'm really having a hard time trying to see what I type and trying to see the thing that is behind, because as you can see here, it's overlapping, and I really have to try to find out a way to see what I'm typing. So let's just type hello. It isn't really that bad thanks to the white background at the back, I guess. And now let's play some NCS. And the NCS is ready. And if you're wondering why the video is blurred, it's not because of my camera, it's because I have set the video to play at 144p, because the video was just lagging and buffering at 720p. So I'm just gonna play this at 144p, and let's click play. And there we go. That was the speaker test on the Black Macbook. So the speaker quality was really bad. It was towards the bad side, and that is mainly because the speaker had a lot of muffling issues, and it was really having all these crackling noises when played at full volume. So maybe it was because we played it at full volume. I don't really know about the other volumes, because all this while I have been using it only at full volume since the volume is really low. Now that we are done with these speakers, it's time to go back to YouTube. So before we click on YouTube, I just figured out something else, that the top search bar, if you search YouTube on it, it doesn't show up. If I search YouTube on it, it goes to Google and it just stays there. So I have to go and type YouTube again on this, and then it shows up. Here's a copyright video that I've been playing on this, and I'm gonna increase this to the full volume. It's at 144p and I'm gonna increase it. So you can clearly see the difference on this, and now let's just switch back. And as I'm changing the quality, we can see that it's really stuttering a lot in 720p, and the video isn't really that smooth playing. As we can see here, YouTube videos are kept at 720p max, and the 144p is the minimum. So YouTube is very bad. As we can see, even at 144p, the video isn't really smoothly playing. Few lags and stutterings on this video. YouTube is really bad on this, as the video keeps lagging and keeps stuttering, and it actually took me a while to figure out why Safari wasn't opening YouTube. And the reason for that is because Google does not allow very old versions of certain browsers to open YouTube, and sadly the Safari on this Black Macbook is one of them. But of course we checked that the other websites worked, like the Apple website and Google, which actually worked. So this is weird. Google works on Safari, but YouTube doesn't. So I don't really know how that works, and I've tried a few other websites, obviously off cameras, because I don't really want to show you and bore you guys out, and those worked, just that YouTube didn't. So they just want to put that out. But even if those websites worked, they didn't load fully, and just like the Apple website, things were overlapping and everything. It was kind of messy. Even though it didn't load properly, I'm just glad that it did work. Some credits to Safari. Good job, Safari. I guess this review was kind of really quick, I guess, but I definitely was able to go through everything that I wanted to say in this review. And if you like it or don't like it, leave it in the comments below. If you want reviews to be like this, you want me to just go through things really quickly, just get the points out, or you want me to go through every single things bit by bit. So do leave in the comments below. I'm waiting to read. On to the question: should you buy this in 2022? Well, you might be asking, are you dumb? Who will be buying this MacBook in 2022? Well, isn't really wrong to get this MacBook. Well, you're right to say that why waste your money on something that doesn't work. Well, that's alright. But just to say that these Black Macbooks are really rare. These Black Macbooks are really hard to come about and hard to just find out. Like I said before, I've been searching and searching, and the prices were really skyrocketing. The prices were just enormous, and I really just couldn't find one cheap. It really took me a long time to find one for a good deal and for a good price. So of course these MacBooks aren't that easy to go around finding, but if you're someone who came across a good deal and if you're thinking of buying it, here are a few things to consider. So firstly, if you're going to buy this MacBook, you can definitely go for it. But buy this MacBook only if you're able to find a fully working one. Don't buy this MacBook something with like just a half-dead screen, or something which has a dead hard drive. Well, dead hard drive isn't really that bad. We can just still change it to a new hard drive or to a new SSD. That is still fine. But more than that, missing keys or just deficit products, don't just go for that. Okay, dead battery is still fine. If you're getting this MacBook which look like it straight came from a World War zone, then I guess you shouldn't go for it, because there definitely would be better MacBooks in better conditions. And of course, speaking of that, we forgot to mention that this MacBook is actually a plastic unibody MacBook. Scratches are just going to be deeper, and just some stains can't just be wiped off using alcohol or something, just like how we can do in the aluminum MacBooks. So just something to take note of. Prices will definitely be higher than the white unibody MacBooks or just the any other MacBooks that came in that year, because like I said before, these Black MacBooks are rare to find, so the prices will definitely be skyrocketing, or they'll just be slightly more expensive by $100 or $200 or even $300 than their white companions. Those are the things that you need to take note of before buying these black 2007 unibody MacBooks. So that's my review on the black unibody 2007 MacBook in 2022, and I hope you all liked it, because I tried this review in a slightly different way by not really showing my face much, by showing more of the product. So if you like this type of videos where I show more of the product and just more of the screen of the product rather than just me sitting down here staring in front of camera and just talking, so if you like that, do leave in the comments below to tell me that you like it. If you don't like it, then that also just leave in the comments below. If you like what you saw, don't remember to click the like button, don't remember to subscribe to this channel, and of course don't remember to click on the bell icon for notification the moment I post videos. With that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch all of you in the next one. Bye bye.